Welcome to the course Formal Language and Automata Theory. In this lecture, we will discuss about the concept of ambiguity in context-free grammars. So previously, we discussed about definition of context-free grammar, derivations using a grammar, types of derivations, that is leftmost and rightmost derivations, then language of a grammar, sentential forms, parse tree, applications of context-free grammars. So these topics we covered in our previous lectures. Now we will discuss the other topics related to context-free grammars, that is ambiguity in grammars and languages. So next class we will discuss about how to eliminate ambiguity in grammars. Coming to outline of today's lecture. So first here we will discuss about the definition of ambiguous grammar, then examples, then how to check whether a given grammar is ambiguous or not. We'll demonstrate with some example problems. So coming to definition of ambiguous grammar. So how to define an ambiguous grammar, or how can you say a grammar is ambiguous? So here we will consider a context-free grammar only. So let G equal to VTSV be a context-free grammar abbreviated as CFG. A grammar G means CFG, is said to be ambiguous if and only if there exists at least one string, let us say W, belongs to T closure, where T closure is a string of terminals, for which two or more leftmost derivations exist. So two or more leftmost derivations, that is LMDs, exist, or two or more rightmost derivations exist, RMDs. So then we can say the grammar is ambiguous. So the general meaning of ambiguous grammar, it has two or more meanings or interpretations. So any grammar, that means a context-free grammar, is said to be ambiguous grammar if and only if there exists at least one string, say W belongs to T closure. For that string, there exist so two or more leftmost derivations or two or more rightmost derivations. Then only we can say the grammar is ambiguous grammar. Now let us see one example. So here you will get the questions like this. Consider the following grammar for arithmetic expressions. Check whether the given grammar is ambiguous or not for the string id plus id into id. So here, for any given problem, how to test the given grammar is ambiguous or not for the string. So what are the steps we have to follow? The first step, for the given string, find two or more leftmost derivations or rightmost derivations. So if the above exists, then given grammar is said to be ambiguous. So these are all the steps we have to follow. For any given problem, if you want to test the given grammar is ambiguous or not, what you have to do, if a string is given, for that string you can find minimum two leftmost derivations or minimum two rightmost derivations. Both derivations derives the same string. Then from derivation, you can draw its derivation tree or parse tree also. If this condition satisfies, the conclusion you can write, the grammar is said to be ambiguous. So now this problem will solve lively here. So this is the given grammar for a simple arithmetic expression. So what it contains, the production starting with variable e, so that is e plus e with arithmetic addition operator plus, then e derives e minus e, that is subtraction minus, then e derives e into e, multiplication operator, then e derives e by e, this is divide operator, then e derives id, terminal production. So here string is also given. For the string id plus id into id, so we have to check whether this grammar is ambiguous or not. So now in the given grammar, G equal to VTSP, where what are the variables here? The grammar consisting of only single variable, that is E. Now terminals are T equal to all lowercase letters, digits, operators, etc. Here you have plus, minus, into, divide, then ID. So these are all the terminals. Then S starting variable. So here S equal to E. Only one variable is there. Then productions are given in the problem above. That is E derives E plus E, or E derives E minus E, or E derives E into E, or E derives E by E, E derives ID. These are all the productions as given above. So now given input string. So given input string is id plus id into id. So for this string, what you have to do, you need to find out minimum two leftmost derivations or two rightmost derivations. So first, let us take leftmost derivation for the string id plus id into id. So the first derivation for the string. So what is the string here? id plus id into id. So let us derive this thing using leftmost derivation. Now what you have to do, either leftmost or rightmost derivation. First we will start with starting production. E is our starting production, E derives. So E consisting of, now we are using leftmost derivation, suffix with LM. So here how many productions are there for E? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 productions are there. So now you can give numbering of each and every production. So total 5 productions are there. So we need to derive the string id plus id into id. For this, what are the productions needed here? Combination of plus and into only. So with the plus combination, we have the first production. With the into combination, we have the third production. Then finally, we have terminal ID. So for ID, fifth production. So total first, third, and fifth productions are only required to derive the string, either leftmost or rightmost, whatever the derivation. So here we have 3 possibilities. So you can take only either 1 or 3. That is E derives E plus E. One time you can take. Another time you can take E derives E into E. That is another leftmost derivation. First we will start with this. So now here E derives E plus E. Here we are applying leftmost derivation each and every step. Here 2 variables are there. So leftmost variable first replaced or substituted by its productions. It is in the form of E plus E. So before plus, what we want a terminal ID. So this leftmost E is substituted by ID. We have the production, fifth production, E derives ID. So therefore this you can substitute by ID. ID plus E. In bracket, you can write down what is the substitution we used, E derives ID. So next step, we have only variable E. Now in place of E, now you can substitute other useful productions. Now we derived ID plus ID plus first two symbols in the string. Then what you want, ID into ID you want. So, but ID into ID, if you can substitute directly E by ID, further we can't get into ID. So you can substitute multiplication combination production in place of E. Then what you will get here, E is substituted by E into E. Now the substitution production, what we use E derives E into E. Now you can see. Again here we have two variables. We are applying leftmost derivation. What you have to do? Leftmost variable is replaced by its corresponding production. Which production you need to substitute now? See that given string. First symbol is ID. Second symbol is plus. Then we got ID plus. Then what is third one? We want ID. So directly in place of E, you can substitute it by ID. Now ID plus ID. Now the remaining symbols are into E. Here what is the substitution we used? E derives ID. So now you can see, now we derived ID plus ID into. Then at last after into what we want, ID again. So now we have only one variable now in place of E. So again you can substitute E by ID. Now this will becomes ID plus ID into ID. Now what is the substitution we used here? E derives ID. Now we can see this is our required string. So this is one derivation, leftmost derivation 1. Now similarly, you can draw its derivation tree or parse tree also. So for LMD1 parse tree for LMD1, see how to draw its parse tree we know. First you can take the starting variable as root. So E is root. Then first step what we did, E derives E plus E. So E plus E are the children of E. These are all connected to E from left to right. So here first you can take E, then you can take plus, then you can take E. So in derivation tree or parse tree, all the internal nodes and root node is denoted by circle, whereas the leaf nodes are denoted by directly you can connect without using circle. So here E is a variable, again here E is a variable, then plus is a terminal. So that too E is internal node, plus is a leaf node. So only internal nodes and root node is denoted by circle. Leaf nodes directly you can connect. So this is the first step. Next step what we did, leftmost E is replaced by ID. That means by using this production, E derives ID. ID is the children of E. This you can connect to its root. So E derives ID. Next what we did, in place of E, we substituted E into E. E means here. Again, here E is replaced by E into E. Now you can see these are all the children. E into E are children of E. In these children's, E is again a variable. Here also variable, so represent within circle. Then into E is a leaf node, so we can't use circle. Then what we did here, E leftmost E, we substituted again E derives ID. So this is substituted by ID. ID is the children of E. Then what we did in the last step, we have only one variable is left. So that is also again substituted by ID. E derives ID. Now we can see from this. So yield of the tree. So yield of tree. Take all the leaf nodes from left to right. So that is, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now write in the order from left to right in the same order. First ID, second one is place, third one is ID, fourth one is into, fifth one is again ID. So this is our required string. So this is the parse tree or derivation tree for the leftmost derivation 1. So then you have to find a second leftmost derivation for the same string. Now leftmost derivation 2, leftmost derivation 2 for the same string, for the string id plus id into id. So leftmost derivation 2 means you can start with another different production than previously taken production. So previously here we have taken e plus e. Now what is the other alternative production useful for this derivation to derive the string? So that is multiplication production. Now you can take e derives e into e. Previously we have taken e derives e plus e. Again same leftmost derivation. Here two variables are there. So leftmost e first we have to replace. See the given string. Here the expression is into form. That means id into id. Before into what you want id actually. But directly we can't substitute e by id. The reason whenever you can substitute e by id, further before id we need plus. It is not possible to substitute plus expression in place of id. That's why first we want the leftmost variable consisting of a production with a combination of plus. For that, what production we have? E derives e plus e. Therefore, leftmost e is replaced by e plus e. Then remaining same into e. Here, what is the substitution we used? E derives e plus e. Now we can see the derivation is in the form of e plus e into e. If you can substitute e by id in all three places, now you directly will get our required string. So the expression is in the form of our required string. Now what you have to do, all e's from left to right you can replace by is terminal production, that is e derives id. First leftmost e replaced by id. Why? Because here we are using leftmost derivation. Now e by id remaining as it is. One step, only one substitution is allowed. Now here what is the production we used? E derives id. Next again two variables are there, e into e. So leftmost e is replaced first. Why? Because here we are using leftmost derivation. Now this will becomes id plus this e is replaced by again id into e. Now what is the substitution we used here? E derives id again. Then at last we have only one variable is left. So now what is the value required in place of e? Again id is required. Now substitute in place of e by id. Now this will becomes id plus id into id. So here what is the substitution we used? E derives id. Now we can see we derived our required string. So what is the string here? id plus id into id is our required string. Now we can see using leftmost derivation 2 also. Here we obtained the same string. So in the above derivation 1, that is leftmost derivation 1, so we obtained same string, but both are different. Why? Because in the first step itself, here we have started e derives e plus e in the leftmost derivation 1. In the second leftmost derivation, here the starting production we have taken e derives e into e. Their plus expression we have taken here into expression we have taken. So therefore, both derivations are different, but derives the same string. As per the condition of ambiguity that we will come to later. First, draw its parse tree for LMD2. Parse tree for leftmost derivation 2. So same process we have to apply. First, take starting variable as root. Then what is the first production we used? E into E. Now E into E are the childrens of the root E. So you can connect E into E to E from left to right. Now all variables you can represent within circle. Now here E is the variable. Now star is the leaf node, so we can't use circle. Next step, what we did in the derivation, you can see. Now leftmost E is replaced by E plus E. This is leftmost E. Again, it is replaced by E plus E. Now E plus E are children of the root node E. Now again, here E is a variable, plus is terminal, I mean leaf node. Then here again E is a variable, means internal node. Wherever variable occurred, you can represent within circle. Further expansion is possible in place of variable, but for terminal expansion is not possible. Okay, next step what we did, leftmost E is replaced by ID. So this is replaced by ID. Now ID is children of E. So then ID is connected to its root E. Then what we did next leftmost E, this one. Again it is substituted by ID. Now ID is children of this root node E. Now this ID is connected to its parent. Then last step, again this E is replaced by ID. Now you can see all steps are included in the derivation tree. Now you can find yield. So yield of a tree, this parse tree. You can take all the leaf nodes from left to right. You can provide numbering. This is 1. Now this is 2. Now this is 3. Now this is 4. Now this is 5. Now you can write in the order, sequence, whatever the numbering you have given. The first one is ID. Second one is plus. Third one is ID. Fourth one is into. Fifth one is again ID. Now you can see. This is our required string. This is the parse tree or derivation tree for the leftmost derivation 2. Now you can see, as per the definition of ambiguity or ambiguous grammar. So when you can say a context-free grammar is ambiguous grammar, for a string, at least there exist 2 or more leftmost derivations or 2 or more rightmost derivations. Then you can say the grammar is ambiguous. Now this grammar satisfying the condition of ambiguity. Now based on the definition of ambiguity, now you can write the conclusion. So therefore the given context-free grammar G for the string ID plus ID into ID, there exist 2 leftmost derivations. So 2 leftmost derivations. Therefore, given CFG G is ambiguous grammar. Ambiguous grammar. So this conclusion you have to write. This is the solution. You can review once again here what we did. The problem is check whether the given grammar is ambiguous or not for the string ID plus ID into ID. As per the definition of ambiguity for any given context-free grammar, we need to find minimum 2 leftmost derivations or rightmost derivations for the given string, same string. So if this condition is satisfied by a given context-free grammar for the string, then we can say the grammar is ambiguous. So here first we have constructed the leftmost derivation for the string ID plus ID into ID by taking the starting production as E derives E plus E. So finally here we derived ID plus ID into ID. Then its corresponding parse tree is also constructed here. Then the second leftmost derivation, here we have taken other alternative production. Here we have taken E as E into E. Now using the concept of leftmost derivation, finally here we obtained the same string ID plus ID into ID. Now the corresponding parse tree is also constructed. Now as per the definition of ambiguous grammar, the given grammar satisfying the condition of ambiguity. Therefore, the grammar is ambiguous grammar. The given context free grammar for the string id plus id into id, there exist two leftmost derivations. Or if you want, you can construct rightmost also, initially starting itself. But either two leftmost or two rightmost, any one. Whether you have taken leftmost means two leftmost we have to find. Whether you have taken rightmost means two rightmost we have to find. So then only you can say the grammar is ambiguous. So this is the concept of ambiguity. So ambiguity in grammars, then automatically whatever the language that is defined by a context free grammar, which is called as context free language, then that language also contains ambiguity. Now here we have another example also. The question is same. Now the grammar is different. So for the given grammar, the question is the following grammar is ambiguous or not for the string IBT, IBT, AEA. So the productions are given S derives ICTS or ICTS ES or A. Then here variable C is also there, C derives B. Same process we have to apply. Either proceeding with leftmost derivation, then you can find two leftmost derivations, or proceeding with the rightmost derivation, then find two rightmost derivations. If this condition satisfies, then we can say the given grammar is ambiguous grammar. Now let us solve this one also. So now here the given grammar G equal to VTSP, where what are the variables here? The grammar consisting of two variables, that is S and C. The first production starting with S, second production starting with C. Now T, terminals are all lowercase letters, digits, operators, whatever. Here we have small I, small t, then small e, then small a, then small b. These are all the terminals of this grammar. Now starting variable S. So in the set V, S and C, by default first one is starting variable. S is start variable, which is belongs to V. S belongs to V. Then productions are given in the problem. So productions are S derives ICTS or ICTS ES or A, then C derives B. So two productions are there, starting with S and starting with C. But S contains three productions. C contains only one production. So now let us take leftmost derivation 1 LMD 1 for the string. So what is the given string here? IBT AEA. So let us find first leftmost derivation for this string. Same as previous problem, here you can start with starting variable production. Starting variable, see here we have S derives ICTS, S derives ICTS ES, S derives A. So you can use either first one or second one. Third one we can't use directly. Why? Because whenever you can take S derives A, only one terminal is derived. But your string is IBT, AEA. So first you can start with first production, then second leftmost derivation start with second production. So now S derives, we are using leftmost derivation ICTS. Now you can see our string starts with I. So I already there. Then here two variables are there, C and S. Whenever we are applying leftmost derivation, first leftmost variable is replaced. So C you need to replace. Now in place of C, which one you need to substitute? So what you want, see the string after terminal I, then we want B. So now in place of C compulsory, you need to substitute B only. Here we have C derives B. Only single production is there. That only you need to substitute here. Now this will becomes, so I, now this C is replaced by B. I, B, T, yes. Here what is the substitution we used? C derives B. Next step you can see we derived first three symbols from the string IBT. After IBT what you want again? IBT AEA. So here you can see we have E combination. Next time in place of S, compulsory you can take E combination production. Otherwise you won't get the string combination of terminal E. So now in place of S you can substitute the second substitution. Now this will becomes IBT. Now S is substituted by ICTSES. Here what is the substitution we used? S derives ICTSES. So this production we used, second production. So now you can see. Now here C, S, S, three variables are there. Whenever we are applying leftmost derivation, compulsory leftmost variable, first you need to replace. Now what is the value you need to substitute in place of C? Only we have one substitution, that is C derives B. So now you can see whenever you can substitute C by B, whether you will get your string or not. Now our string is IBT, then I. So after I, again what you want compulsory? B is required terminal. So compulsory in place of C, you need to substitute C by B. Now this becomes IBT, IBT, SES. Here what is the substitution we used? C derives B. Now you can see we derived IBT, IBT. So after IBT, IBT, what you want? AEA. So here E already there. Now two S are there. Before E, after E, we have the variable S. Now in place of S, what we need to substitute? Compulsory we need to substitute A. Why? Because our string consisting of terminal A before E, after E. So compulsory you need to substitute S by A. First one by one. Leftmost S you need to substitute by terminal A. Now this will become IBT, IBT. Now leftmost S we are substituting with terminal A. The remaining symbols as it is. Now here what is the substitution we use? S derives here. Then at last we have only one variable. That variable, what is the value required? Terminal A. Directly we have terminal A for S. Then we will get our complete string. Now this will becomes IBT, IBT, AE. Now S is substituted by terminal A. What is the substitution we used here? S derives here. Now you can see this is our required string. Here IBT, IBT, AEA. So the required string is derived using leftmost derivation. Now similarly, draw its partial derivation tree for LMD1. Parse tree for leftmost derivation 1. Same process here. First we have taken S derives ICTS. Now consider S as the root. First here we have taken S. Now the childrens are first step. What substitution we used? ICTS are the childrens of S. You can connect from left to right. So here first I, then C, then T, then S. All variables you can represent within circle, which are internal nodes. Then terminals we can't include within circle. Those are leaf nodes. Means further no expansion is possible. Now what we did next step, we substituted leftmost variable C by terminal B. That means B is the children of C. Now you can connect B to C. Next, what we did, S is substituted by ICTS ES. Now ICTS ES are the childrens of S. Now you can connect from left to right. I, C, T, S, E, S. Now all variables, variable nodes you can represent within circle, which are called as internal nodes. Terminals you can keep as it is. Now next step, what we did, the leftmost variable C, this is replaced by B. Now B is the children of C. Then what we did, leftmost S is substituted by terminal A. Now A is the children of S. Then at last one variable is left, that is S. Again it is substituted by A, which is children of S. Now you can see, take all leaf nodes from left to right in order. Now you can provide numbering. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from left to right. If any null is there in between, you can exclude. Now you can write all the leaf nodes in the order that is called as yield of a tree or a partial derivation tree. Write in the order whatever the numbering you have provided. First one is I, second one is B, third one is T, fourth one is I, fifth one is B, sixth one is T, seventh one is A, eighth one is E, ninth one is again A. This is our required string. This is the partial derivation tree for the leftmost derivation 1. Similarly, take leftmost derivation 2 for the same string. Leftmost derivation 2 LMD 2 for the string. What is the string here? IBT AEA. So in the previous derivation, what we did, we have taken the first production of S, ICTS. Now you can start with taking the second production. Then only the derivation is differ. Now S derives, again leftmost derivation, ICTSES. This we have taken now. Now you can see here we have three variables C, S, E, S. We are applying leftmost derivation. Means leftmost variable first you need to substitute. C we have only one substitution, that is terminal B. That only you need to substitute. Now you will get IBTSES. Here what is the substitution we used? C derives B. Now you can see in the given string, first three terminals are derived. IBT. Next what we want? Again IBT AEA. But here the production is in the form of SES. So SES means the last part is there. If you can take directly S by A, but we can't get the second IBT part, then what you have to do, in place of leftmost S, you can substitute the first production of S. What is the first production? ICTS. This S is replaced by ICTS. Now this will becomes IBT, here ICTS. Now ES remains same. Now what is the substitution we use? S derives ICTS. Now here you can see we have three variables C, S and S. Leftmost variable you can replace. C compulsory it is replaced by B only. We don't have any alternative. Now this will becomes IBT I. Now C is replaced by B. IBT SES. Now what is the substitution we use? C derives B. Now we derived the string IBT. After IBT, what we want? AEA. Here we have two S. Now substitute both S value as terminal A one by one in each step. Now leftmost S we have to substitute by terminal A. Now this will becomes IBT. Now leftmost S substituted by terminal A. Now ES remains same. Here what is the substitution we used? S derives here. At last only one variable is there. S again that is substituted by terminal A only. Now this will becomes. Here what is the substitution? We use it. S derives here. Now you can see IBT AE. This is our required string. So using second leftmost derivation also we obtained the same string. Now draw its parse tree for LMD2. So here the first step, S is the root. We have taken ICTS ES is the production we used. So these are all children of S. Now S is the root. Here we have taken I, C, T, S, E, S. So all variables represent within circle, which are called as internal nodes. Then terminals you can keep as it is. Now you can see what we did. Leftmost variable C replaced by B. Now B is the children of C. Then what we did, two variables are there, S. So leftmost S is again replaced by I, C, T, S. Now C and S are the variables represent within circle. Then what we did, the leftmost variable C is replaced by terminal B. B is the children of C. Then two variables are there. S, leftmost S is substituted by terminal A. Then A is the children of S. Then at last, rightmost S substituted by again same terminal A. Now you can see. Now take all leaf nodes in the order from left to right. Provide the numbering. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So E is the 8. Then ninth one is A. Now you can write the yield of the tree. So yield of a tree from left to right without including null. The first one is I, second one is B, third one is T, fourth one is I, fifth one is B, sixth one is T, seventh one A, eighth one E, ninth one A. Now you can see this is our required string. Now you can see both derivations, leftmost derivation 1 and leftmost derivation 2, we derived the same string. See, derivations are different both as per the production's consideration. Then see the derivation trees also. Here see the leftmost derivation tree 1 for LMD1. Here root is S, the first production ICTS. Now here you can see root S same, ICTS ES. In the level, second level itself, the productions are changed. Therefore, derivation trees also automatically differ whenever derivations are different. So therefore, this grammar also satisfying the condition of ambiguity. Therefore, the given context-free grammar G for the string IBT AEA consisting of two leftmost derivations. So G is ambiguous grammar. G is ambiguous grammar. So this is the conclusion. Like that, any given grammar. So we can test whether it is ambiguous or not by finding either two leftmost derivations or two rightmost derivations for the same string. For the same string only, this has to be fulfilled. Now we have another practice problem also that you can make it as exercise. So this is another problem. Check whether the given grammar is ambiguous or not. S derives AAB, A derives BC or CD, C derives CD, B derives C or D. So here in this grammar the variables are capital S, capital A, capital B, capital C. Then terminals are lowercase letter small a, small b, small c, small d. Then starting variable S itself. S is start variable. But here string is not given. Then we have to assume one string derived from given CFG. So how to derive the string? For example, here take S production. S derives AAB. Now in place of A, what are the possibilities you have? Now suppose you can take B, C, B. Now again we have C. In place of C, A, B, C we have only one substitution, that is CD. B. Now in place of B, either C or D. Now A, B, C, D. Suppose take C. So A, B, C, D, C. Let us take. For this, find the two leftmost derivations or two rightmost derivations. If two leftmost derivations or two rightmost derivations exist for this thing, then you can say the grammar is ambiguous. So like that, we have to practice this one. Now we stop here. Then we will review what we discussed in this lecture. First, we discussed about what is the ambiguous grammar, how to define, then what are the restrictions or rules in ambiguous grammar. Then we demonstrated two example problems, checking the given grammars ambiguous or not. Now you can practice the third example also. Next class we will come up with other topic related to ambiguous grammar, that is eliminating ambiguity. Now we know what is the ambiguity. How can you test a given context free grammar is ambiguous or not? Then how to eliminate ambiguity? That is very important. Why? Because ambiguous is not allowed in any grammars or languages. Why? Because duplications are allowed. So we have to remove ambiguity. So removing ambiguity in context free grammars, that we will discuss in next lecture.